like, how y'all been? I'm back at it again with another video, and this video we're gonna talk about like how to build a better relationship with God. You know, I got a couple ways that I did, considering I never had the biggest relationship or like the best relationship with God. You know, and in seeking that, I found a couple, you know, ways that I knew or like I felt was good enough to start off with to build a better relationship with God. So first, I'm gonna say, it's all about your prayer life. You're gonna start off with your prayers. You know, how you go about prayer and communicating with God is gonna take you a long way. So if you start out with your prayers acknowledging God and like in His goodness and in like the way that He works and like how He is wise and just, best believe you're just like, you're building a better relationship with Him. And in all things, He listens to us, you know, and like when you building your relationship with God and saying like, okay, God, look, I want to thank you for such and such and like being in my life, being the pedestal and the head of my life, you know, starting off with that will take your prayer life and your relationship with God into a better direction. And in His will, if it's within His will, I promise you, like God will provide. No matter where I'm at, if I got time to like pray, I'm gonna pray, you know, and I'm gonna always make sure that I acknowledge God. So that's one way, one great way to start off, like just being able to pray. All right. Two. All right, the second one, and this is kind of big, but we have to make a habit of doing this. All right. So keeping God first, and I'm not just saying like, if you go to church, you're like, I'm not just saying on Sundays when you like, you know, you saying like, I got time for God because today is Sunday. It's a holy day, you know, glorifying God. Granted, the first thing I do, I get up and pray. You know, if it be somewhat saying like, you know, Heavenly Father, just thank you for this day. You know, I'm putting God first. First thing I get up is like, you know, God, you're on my mind. You know, I wanted that to be a habit that I had. And like any goals that I've ever had, back then I didn't always say like, you know, God, is this right for me? Is this something that you want me to do? I never used to do that. I used to say, you know what, let me just try it. But ever since I started saying like, you know, God, I'm going to take this to you. I'm going to bring like this idea. Like start YouTube. I prayed about it and I didn't act on it the first minute I said, oh, let me get a camera. Let me start YouTube. No, I said, you know what, God, I really want you to help me to create a YouTube channel and like give me like the guidance to do so. You know, I want to glorify you in making this YouTube channel. So I started out doing that. And the minute I did, it's like it gave me peace. You know, God, I gave it to you first and you helping me now. So the third way that I better my relationship with God is reading His Word. You know, reading the Bible. You know, so bigger time to read His Word wasn't something that I was good at. I always felt like I had too much going on and I never had the time to read the Bible. You know, but the more you seek for God and you be like, you know, God, I'm really seeking you. You know, I'm really seeking to build a better relationship. You're gonna cut off a lot of things. You're gonna be like, let me just take this Bible. I got free time right now. Let me read my Bible, you know, and dedicate this time to God. Just be like, Heavenly Father, this time is for you, you know. And in all things that brought like this closeness, you know, this closeness to Him. And I found peace in reading my Bible now. The fourth, that's where I built my relationship with God, is basically worship music. And I wasn't crazy about like having this. I wasn't always crazy about having, you know, worship music, you know, gospel music. But I grew up around it. Like my grandma used to play gospel music around the house. And like it was just something I really paid attention to. But see, now, knowing like the goodness of God, it's just like, you know, let me make some time to really worship Him. Like I would, you know, I'll be walking around my room and I'll play some gospel music. I'll be in my car, play some gospel music. It's really like you get so indulged in like the music and like worshiping Him, you'll say like sometimes His presence just overwhelms you and you just be like, you know, God, I'm thankful for you. you know, and sometimes you might shed a tear because I've done it. Like having like this big old presence of him just like, and it's like, it's nothing but goodness. And you just, once you feel it and you be like, Lord, just thank you. You want to lift your hands. You might want to dance. You might want to sing the song even louder. It's just so many ways to like praises him. But like, I know when music, like worship music comes on, it's like, it's a whole nother level to it. It's like, you want to lift your hands and sing. Like that moment, like having like the time to worship him is like key. Because like now you know, like you put God first, and like, you know, you're honoring him. Like you acknowledge that he's like the head of your life. You acknowledge that he's your father, like acknowledging him. So I'm not gonna really, so this is something else that I came just thinking about. You know, sometimes you might not have time to pray. So prayer isn't the only way you can talk to God. Because sometimes you may sit there and be like, just talking, you know, and just like, you know, you talking to God, and just like, you sit there, you want to talk to him. Is no better listener. Like, he is the best listener. Man, there's times where I just be sitting there and I be talking to him about my day, and like, it's no better feeling than knowing like he's listening to you. And it's so crazy because the more you talk to him, the more you be like, you know, I want to listen to you sometime, you know, and hear what you got to say. Sometimes I don't hear him as clear as like other times, but I hear him when he's speaking, and it's like, another thing is his silence is as loud as when he's speaking, you know. But if I ever had like a moment where I'm just sitting there and I'm just like, you know, I just want to talk, and I sit there and I talk to him, he's the best listener. And I promise you, I found peace in knowing like, if no one else is going to listen, I know God will. Well, that's basically it. You know, this is just like some small steps, or like some small steps that you can take to get closer to God. If you're seeking to get closer to God, and there's no better feeling than getting closer to him. Like really the peace, like you really feel peaceful, you know, and life just feels so much more fulfilling when you know that you're seeking God, you know, and all things will be given to you. It really is great. And it's just no better feeling than knowing like the big man upstairs got us. You feel me? So once you understand, and once you start building that relationship and get closer to him, you understand like him. You know, I'm not saying I'm the best at understanding him, but I know that, you know, when it comes to me and his relationship, we locked in, and like we locked in. You feel me? So I just pray that all of y'all seek the oneness with God, and like pray that y'all can get closer to God, because there's really no better feeling. You buy in and you have big faith, no little faith. That's one thing I gotta say. Don't have little faith. Be able to know that your faith has to endure. You know, you gotta walk by faith and not by sight. You know, we're not gonna see everything. We're not gonna see all the good things God has lined up for us. So one thing I know, long faith, one that's gonna be there forever. I'm praying that this video reaches you, and I'm praying that you continue to seek God, you know, get closer to him, and just know, thankful for my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ that I'm here today. Remember, God is always working, even when you can't see it. I'll see y'all next time.